It's me again, I guess. I'm here with a book review on Huffington Post's last month book of the month, and that is What It's Like to Go to War. Boo, war, bad. That is probably why I didn't like this book all that much. I read it because it was the Huffington Post book of the month, and I thought it was going to be like Tim O'Brien's The Things They Carried, but I was so wrong. What It's Like to Go to War is by Karl Marlantes, and he says it's written for a soldier or a civilian. I am a civilian. I really didn't like it. No offense, Karl Marlantes. Sorry. I thought I was gonna like it because on the first page, let me see, let me think if I can quote this. I have my notes, I can quote it. Okay. Combat is like unsafe sex, in that it's a major thrill with possible horrible consequences. Yeah. And then he talks how war is then like football. So if you're a guy, you're probably gonna like this book. However, I ended up not liking it all that much. In the book, he talks about how technology has decreased the time between the field and front and home for people in the military. And so it creates somewhat of a confusing situation for a coming home. He asked the question, how can you return home if you really never left it? And so that's what he goes through in pretty much the first half of the book. Karl Marlantes, let me read this to you. He's a graduate of Yale University and a Rhodes Scholar at Oxford University, of course. And then he served in Vietnam. And in this book, he talks like a philosopher. Now, let me tell you, I used to study philosophy, if you can believe it or not. I was a philosophy major. And I think that creates somewhat of a problem in this book, because he says it's for soldiers and civilians. Well, let me tell you, most civilians out there are not philosophers. And they don't get philosophy writings and such. And let me tell you, most soldiers out there, if they, I won't say most, a lot of them came right out of high school. And if they did go higher education, I can bet your butt it probably was not philosophy. A small minority might have been philosophy. I knew one in philosophy, and they probably wouldn't step into the Lyceum if they even knew what the Lyceum was. So he talks like a philosopher, but it creates a problem because half the time I didn't even know what he was talking about, and I'm supposed to know what he's talking about. And so it's just, I don't know what he's trying to get at. And so if I don't know what he's trying to get at, don't know his logic, how are other people supposed to know his logic? This book seems to me like one big rant about how confusing war is and how it can mess up your life. Half the time, I didn't believe his emotions. There were cheesy parts. Mass for the Dead, really. If you ever read this book, really, Mass for the Dead, I don't think it ever happened. And that's saying something, because I thought the Lovely Bones could could have happened, and it's fiction, let me tell you. The Lovely Bones was good until that one part where she, like, comes from heaven, switches bodies to see this one guy. Yeah, sorry if I ruined that for you. That really didn't ruin the book, sorry. But that's what it reminds me of. So, the last chapter just seemed grown together. Like, his publisher was like, you need one more chapter. So he was like, blah, 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 blah. That's what it felt like to me. And the afterwards was one big summary of the entire book. So if you want to read this book, but not the whole thing, just go to the afterwards, and you'll know the entire story, pretty much, with mythology included. It's kind of sad. So if you really want to read a good book, this is not it. You need something fiction with war, like All Quiet on the Western Front, or The Things They Carried, which is talked about in this book by Tim O'Brien. I really like The Things They Carried, so check that one out. If you agree with me on this review, let me know below. If you don't agree with me, let me know below. And if you want more reviews, and if you want to have other things, but next time I will see y'all hopefully soon. Bye! There's a gopher over